Hello, Angie Gerber here, and welcome to my podcast, Awareness. Once you know, you can't unknow. A place you can come to start thinking and shifting your thoughts to finally create the results you truly, truly desire. It'll shift your mindset and give you strategies to get out there and get it done. Let's get started. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the law of vibration. Lisa Martin, my business partner, and I, we run a monthly women's business collective in-person workshop collaboration, hour and a half. And at the last event, a question came up kind of about planting ideas or planting seeds and what happens. Why don't they come to fruition, or how long does it take, or, how do I not get discouraged, which is really a lot of what Thinking into Results focuses on. But it got me thinking and just kind of going back to the beginning where people really have a hard time believing what they can't see. If you're only going to believe in what you can see and reality as it is today, like your bank account, what house you live in, what job you have, what income you're earning, if you let your current circumstances and results dictate where you're going in the future, you're just not going to win. I mean, Lincoln once stated, "To believe in the things you can see and touch is no belief at all. But to believe in the unseen is a triumph and a blessing." The law of vibration, really everything vibrates, nothing rests. Think about striking a key on a piano and a prism on a chandelier will vibrate. And they'll vibrate because they're on the same frequency. So many people have watched The Secret, and it's just been an amazing film. It opened millions of people's eyes and hearts and subconscious to believe there's more and to look at the law of attraction and what can they get if they plug in and play. And the law of attraction is actually a secondary law. So if you back up, the law of vibration is the law above the law of attraction. You have to be vibrating at a certain frequency to attract what it is you're wanting out of life. So your body is a molecular structure. It's a massive energy, really in a high speed of vibration at any one time. So when you think, what you're doing is you're activating brain cells. And those brain cells that you're activating set up a vibration in your body. It's kind of how you're feeling. And based upon your feeling, is when you'll take action or you'll not take action. You'll push through the fear and do it anyway. You'll choose faith over fear, all of that. What happens is so many people, again, are thinking negative thoughts, they're not thinking what can serve them. All they're focusing is on what they don't want. So you're activating brain cells, you're thinking in a negative way, and that's setting up the vibration in your body. It's a vibration, again, in your body, and that's the energy that you're sending out into the world. And when they say like energy attracts like energy, that's a lot of what they're talking about. So what you're giving out, you're getting back, regardless of if it's in that moment or if it's maybe a day or two later, or what we like to call karma. Whatever you're putting out, you are getting back. So if you're a nasty person with a nasty personality and a bad attitude, you're going to get a lot of that same nastiness and bad attitude back at you. The people you're surrounding yourself with, maybe what job you do, the people at that job, what friends you talk to, what you guys talk about, who you call on the phone. If it's a family member, what do you talk about? Is it uplifting and upbeat, or is it a lot of the negativity and what's wrong with everything? If you're happy and you have a positive attitude and you get out there and you have that great personality, you're going to attract that happy stuff, that great personality, the stuff that you're putting out in the universe, and the energy is what you're going to get back. It's a law. Vibration is the law of the universe. And again, you attract at all times. And the law of vibration decrees everything moves, nothing rests. You and I literally live in an ocean of motion. Take a wood desk. It's made of wood. And a piece of paper is made from wood. The wood desk is energy at a certain speed, and the paper is energy at a certain speed. Think about a metal chair. Think about the clothing you're wearing. Think about your skin. All of that is moving. It's energy. It's just at a different speed of vibration. Everything vibrates. It's from a lower to a higher frequency of vibration. And what you want to do is keep raising your level of vibration. So you think, how you feel, and how you act equals your attitude. And attitude and our thoughts are the only two things that we can control. I'm going to say that again. Your attitude and what you're thinking are the only two things you can control. And your attitude is a combination of what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and what action you're taking. You can be thinking one thing and be feeling another thing. And what you need to do is you need to get them in order, which is also called integrity. So if you're doing one thing, but you're thinking, this isn't good, this isn't going to work, then your vibration is all off and it's not going to work. How do you reject negative thoughts? I know we've talked about that before. And how do you really, protect yourself from others who have negative thoughts? This is where you really need to be thinking. You have a reasoning factor. It's one of your higher faculties. Information is coming in from the outside at all times. And the beauty is you have the ability to be thinking about everything you're hearing, see, smell, taste, or touch. And at the conscious level, you can accept or reject it. What you're going to have to start doing is asking yourself, when something is around you, is it going to serve me? That's why it's so important to have goals and to have a big C goal. So you know what you're always going towards. And when something comes into your life, whether it's an opportunity, a person, a thought, something that you could be doing or not doing, is this going to help me get closer to my goal? Is this going to move me in the direction I want to move towards, where there's more for me? And if the answer is no, then you reject it. Some people are always going to complain about anything and everything they can find to complain about. There are people that think they're absolutely brilliant because they've found the one thing that they can sit and complain about over and over and over again. Some of the shows we watch, some of the things we read, they're all about what's wrong. People are making a living at this. And again, you have the ability when you hear something or you feel something, you can accept it or you can reject it. That is what separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. You do not have to accept it. If you think about, someone you may love dearly or a partner, or a family member that could be really negative, well, use their negativity as an instrument to make you stronger. You don't have to get involved in their game. You're not going to go down that road with them. Simply what you can do is when they go on their tangent or they're trying to pull you in, once you go through thinking into results or once you hear this information, you can't become unaware. Once you're aware, you're aware. It's just like you can't unsee or unhear some things. You can't unlearn this. So once you're starting to see the things that are triggering you and you're around these relationships or conversations that always end the same way, or it's going down that road, simply change the subject. And one of the best things Bob Proctor taught me was say, "That's interesting," and then change the subject, or ask a different question, or just get them off that lane and move over to a different road. Don't keep going down that road, because what's going to happen. And it's not going to serve you or them, more than likely. I know other thing that came up in the group this last time was, what are some good routines for success? So you want to start doing some things differently and start setting yourself up for success, and what that looks like. So I know everyone I've almost talked to, especially successful people, or I've watched online, I've watched in YouTube, undoubtedly, one of the things they say is get up early every day. I know Bob used to say, when my eyes opened, I got up. I didn't roll around. I didn't go back to bed. He's like, unfortunately, but fortunately, sometimes it was 3:30 in the morning. He's like, when you get up, wake up, get up. That is a big thing. He said all successful people do it, and it's continued to ring true for me as I've interviewed other people and really watched their stuff and dived in. The other thing you can do, and again, this is all stuff you can control, is study. Study, study, study every day. Read a book over and over again until you truly understand it, which doesn't make sense to a lot of us, because that's not what we were taught in school. You cram the book, you cram it down your throat, you learn it as fast as you can in as much time, because you have a week or maybe a month or whatever it is, but depending if it was middle school, high school, or college, and you get all this information and knowledge and you retain it, and you take a test and you pass the test. And many of us couldn't even remember what we learned the year before, because it was just so crammed. We did it for a purpose, to pass the test. What about reading a book till you understand it? I know, again, Bob Proctor learned from one of his first business partners and mentors, Earl Nightingale. He would have a book holder on his desk, and he would study the same pages, sometimes for months, if not a year. And he said, yeah, I'm reading this over and over again until I truly understand it. It makes a difference. And that is why, again, through the repetition, I watch a lot of the same things. I do a lot of the same writing exercises. I study the same things, and I never hear it the same, because I am always different. You're always going to be at a different place. You dip your toe in a stream, you will never dip it in the same water. And that is like what you do with knowledge and learning. You will never read the same thing in the same way, because you truly will never be the same person. It's beautiful. Go back to books you've read if you've enjoyed them, and reread them. Find a book that you want to learn. I have a whole huge library list that I can personally recommend you some based upon where you're at and what you're wanting to learn. Let me know. I'd love to help you out and get you a book to start reading over and over and over again. Again, because you will read it differently. I can promise you that. Third, again, something you can control for the most part. Don't hang around negative people. Now, if they're at your work, if they're in your home, if they're somewhere in your family where you're going to see them, again, don't go as long or don't go as often, and don't stay as long. Really protect yourself. Bob also, as he grew older into his 80s, he's like, I didn't hang around old people. I wanted to hang around young people. I wanted to keep my energy up. I had more energy than many people I knew in their 30s. So along with not hanging around negative people, find people that inspire you, or find people that want to do things and get out and experience, and not just sit and do the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and just they're in their rut. They're in their place. They don't have any sea goals or big dreams or ambitions or desires. So protect yourself as well, and find people that want to grow. Because the truth is, if you're not growing, and if you're not getting comfortable being a bit uncomfortable, then you're going backwards and dying. We always are for expansion. We're spiritual beings. We want to expand. Another thing is if you've grown up like many of us did and you were told, you know what, you should just be satisfied with what you have. Who are you to think you should have this or that? Be grateful for where you're at. And the truth is never be satisfied. Now, gratitude and grateful, absolutely. Always find gratitude for where you're at and find the good in any situation. But satisfied? No, never be satisfied. Always want more and know that's okay because we are spiritual beings and we're meant to expand. So many people have money paradigms. So many people, especially women, have confidence issues. It's really about getting in there, digging out those habitual habits and paradigms that no longer serve you around that, and realizing that the more confidence you have, the more you can get out there and the good you can do, and the more good you can do, the more money you can make. And when you make more money, the more good you can do with the money for those that you love, for those in your community, and for those in the world. So it truly can be a complete mind shift and mindset change for so many people. And I promise you, it's so beautiful when you dive in and start doing the work. So in wrapping up today, again, know there's a difference between the law of attraction and the law of vibration. It starts with where you're vibrating at, what you're feeling, and what energy you're putting out. And again, your attitude is the compilation of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and how you're acting. 2 things that you can control is your attitude and your thoughts. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you like what you heard, feel free to share, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you do. I'd love to get this out to as many people as possible because it truly all does start with awareness. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and it changes everything. And of course, if I can help in any way, I'm here and happy to do so. Until next time, make it a good one.